Hi Scorpio, this is Trudy, and I will be performing at this very moment in time in the middle of November a forecast for 2017. This will be your year-long reading, which will be available to you for the month of December on the channel, and then it will be posted for subscription only. And so please enjoy. First card to come up for you for the month of December with the Eight of Swords. And if you're learning to read the tarot, and I hope that you will sign up for classes, because I will be offering classes this year, hangouts, where we'll be able to have a lot of fun learning about the cards and the suits and the major arcana. Eight of Swords would represent the capacity to lock ourselves in January into this self-imposed thinking. And it is the month to review and analyze what it is that is holding us back. And when we speak to what it is, we're speaking to thoughts, perceptions, ideas that have been implanted over time. And now these ideas about ourselves and our capacity and what we're able to do are indeed keeping us in a box. There's a great realization that we have identified with these thoughts to the point where we're immobile and almost paralyzed. And so please refer to the thumbnail or the visual of the wheel, and you will see at the very top above the little sculpture of the Hierophant, this little wooden sculpture I love, and the this is the Hermit, and the Hermit is actually the major arcana card, which I like to call the God card. And so in the center of this entire reading we've got the God card, but at the top what we have is this: January will be a time to free ourselves. All of our Scorpio sun, moon, ascendants out there will be revisiting the past and thinking of ways to escape and to become free of some of these negative, restrictive ideas, thought patterns, even brain waves that are creating issues. And so for some of our Scorpios, this may be affecting you in certain ways, such as you're not able to move about as freely as you would like to. And also for some of you, you may be experiencing some issues with your eyesight, which if it's funny how sometimes if we clear our minds, our body will also clear itself of some of these things that have been plaguing us, some of these health issues that have been plaguing us. And so Scorpio, get a clearer view by reassessing exactly who and what is holding you back, because sometimes we can be our own worst enemies, and if you don't reassess some of these ideas, you won't be able to move forward. But let's see what happens. And of course you do. Lovely, perfect card to come after that January card, where we're taking a good look at all of these ideas that are keeping us from moving into a new direction. We have the Fool, and that's in the upright. Major arcana Fool coming in February. That is a card of taking a risk, stepping out, not being afraid, letting yourself enjoy life, playing a little bit, and also maybe putting on a little bit of a shorter skirt, which comes to mind for some of you. It's kind of funny. That's what I'm hearing. And so not to take yourself as seriously as you had in the month of January, but in actuality, this is the absolute opposite of this Eight of Swords. And so you really do break free. And also, breaking free of responsibility in February, you've got a little time on your hands. And so maybe this is a good time to Think about taking a little trip, or even doing that one little thing that you've always wanted to do for yourself. So in February, we start over, and there is something that you will begin to follow a path, a journey that in the past has perhaps seemed too risky, foolish, even, or maybe your responsibilities have held you back. But in February, you give yourself permission to do this wonderful thing, and it's going to be a lot of fun. And then what do we have in March? We have the Knight of Swords, which is a great card. This is getting your hands around the ideas that you've had, which were formulating somewhat for you in February. You're taking this risk, this sort of stepping out onto a precipice and looking about and really saying, hey, I can do anything that I want. The Knight of Swords speaks to rapid movement forward. And that rapid movement forward has to do with your thoughts. You've got an idea and you're racing toward that bullseye where you're going to be able to drive this point, so to speak, home. And that's very interesting for Scorpio in March. There's a lot of energy. This is the fastest moving night. It can speak also to movement, and that would mean intellectual movement. And so around you also, for some of our Scorpions, they may find that there's someone who is very, very aggressive in their thinking and perhaps even trying to move forward on, I'm seeing a game board, to advance quicker perhaps than what you may be ready for. This is just like somebody charging right out of the gate. And interestingly enough, you've been able to open yourself up to some risk in the month of February. However, now you've got this gung-ho charge that's happening, and it's going to happen very quickly. This change is coming on, and it can even cause disruption. Someone might even decide to go to battle over one thing or another, and for some of the Scorpio people out there, you might find that March is a month of disruption. And that can even mean that there's some chaos going on within the realm of technology. And we speak to technology when we see swords coming about. And so maybe there's a surge within the workplace. And so look out and make sure that you've got everything backed up, and that you're not going to have some sort of electrical mishap happening. Again, I'm seeing some aggressive energy here, some thought patterns that are being pushed your way. If it's not you pushing them forward, it is someone around you. I do see, again, April, some miscommunication happening. Something has not actually gone through the work environment the way you had hoped it would. We have the Eight of Wands, and they are reversed. And so what does that mean? That means that Mercury is almost in retrograde in April, where maybe it's time to finish some things up that perhaps have been haunting you. And so if there is communication out there that hasn't been maybe making its target bullseye, you might want to reassess your aim and how you would like to communicate with those around you. Interestingly enough, we've got two cards. One is very assertive. That would be our Knight of Swords. And the other is almost going the other way. It's almost a boomerang that's coming back to you. And so within career, if you're finding that you need to advance your career, you might want to reassess your resume. You might want to look at what you're putting out there, because you want to make sure that whatever you're putting out there is hitting its mark, and that it's defining exactly what it is that you would like to communicate in a very clear and concise way. And that could mean that you're looking for direction as well, and you're asking people around you, hey, what should I do? I'm not sure. I kind of want to change my direction and my focus. And you're getting static back instead of clear direction and focus. And so you might want to, once again, focus upon what it is that you're looking to create within your own life. Now, if for some of you, you've got a partner who has become very assertive in what they want to do, what they feel is the right direction, or someone around you is very clear and concise and charging ahead, maybe without your consent, well, then you need to make sure that the two of you are able to communicate about the direction that this is taking, this new thought pattern, this new cause, this new revelation. You need to make sure that the two of you understand that in order for this to take place, you've got to make sure that the communication is there. Other ideas here is that, and funny, ideas is exactly what it is. People have ideas. And so that idea may not be your idea. And so it's kind of falling apart. And following the Eight of Rods, we have the Five of Pentacles. And so once again, please refer to the wheel to the right, the image that I have created for you to follow along, Scorpio. And so what do we have here? We have a 5. And 5s can really represent within numerology conflict. And so within every suit, we have a 5. And so 5s will show themselves here and there. And the 5 of Pentacles reminds me a bit here within this reading of the chaos theory, which is basically the mathematics study of behavior, or sometimes referred to as the butterfly effect, in that systems are not predictable. Even though we may try and determine what will happen, we may try and create some sort of structure for our lives via communication, via financial stability. There is always a bit of chaos that reigns into every parade. And so, Scorpio, what I see for you here is simply that there will be this effect that will happen going into the summertime. And so we have April and May, which basically are the outcome of the beginning of the year, and I do believe many years prior, where you are experiencing a little bit of a ripple effect here. And for some of you, that may just mean that you're actually beginning to see the life that you had envisioned as a bit different than what you had planned for. And it's sort of a perception thing more than it is the realization that you don't have the right sofa or the right chairs, or perhaps you're driving a different car than you would like to. It's really not about that. This is more about you coming to terms with where you've ended, or where you've landed, I should say, in your life. And it's not a dire situation. This is really going to be cool because it precedes judgment. And judgment, this is what it takes really to move you toward judgment, another major arcana card coming up for you. And so June brings, and this is May and June brings this emergence, this realization, this thing that you now know that you've known for a long time. It's kind of like when you realize, when you have an epiphany, when you have this great realization, you cannot really move backward on the game board. And we have been talking about the game board. And so on the game board of life, you're advancing quite a few spaces because you've opened yourself up to the idea that I've got to answer this higher calling. I know that I'm going to get to the place that I need to be, and I have faith that I will get there because I've heard deep within myself that I'm much more than I thought that I could ever be. And so this is an idea that has turned into action. And in order to receive the word that it's time to become all that you can be, so to speak, you have got to get out of your cubicle, your corner, and Scorpio likes to hide sometimes, but it's time for you to come out and basically face the music, more or less, and realize that you have these talents and skills that are going to be called forth. This is a really interesting reading for 2017, and I have to say what I really do see here is you coming into your full persona. And if this isn't resonating with you, please check your moon and your rising, because I really do see that this is a pretty specific reading for our Scorpios. There's some big work being done here because you are opening yourself in February to risk. And once you do, the idea takes off. And there's some fear in there in May in that, hey, we could actually lose our home here. We could lose our footing. This could cause, this risk that we're taking could cause someone to go without, and maybe it's to the point where someone's going without and it's not you. But in order for you to answer your higher calling, you're going to have to face the fear that the responsibilities that you've taken on may be too much, and to let go of some of those responsibilities can actually advance you on the game board to the point where you can meet the call, and you hear the call, but you need to take action in order to make that happen. And so the action will happen in June and July. And June and July will find you trying to take the action that you need to take. We've got the Magician and we've got the Knight of Wands. The Magician comes right after the Fool. If you're learning, again, to read, we first have the Fool, followed by the Magician, and the Magician really is all about manifestation. And so once you take that risk and you open yourself up to this new journey and you meet these characters along the way, the idea is how do you put these energies together, and I'm calling them characters, and you can give them personas, but how do you put this energy together to create magic, so to speak, or to manifest what it is that you feel drawn, led, called to manifest? How do you do that? Well, you learn and you take it all in, and you're naive and open, and you don't ask a lot of questions, you just do. This is Aries energy required to meet this next transition, which is coming up in the summertime. And so if you are open to that, and if this is something that you would like to do, it's actually going to test you throughout the spring. And then in the summer, you are open and ready to move forward into this new direction, which is going to feel beyond expectation. This is a rapturous experience that you will have when you meet your destiny, so to speak. And that again is coming very soon in the summertime. So once we hear the call, we heed the call. And in August, we begin to lay out our metaphorical tools, our cards. If you're learning to read the tarot, if you decide to read the tarot, this will be answering the call to learn to read the tarot for some of our Scorpios, or it's learning to do what it is that you need to manifest, whatever that may be, and that's coming in August. And then again, this is not going to be something that will come for all of you with tremendous ease. And so there's work that goes into this. There's energy that needs to go into this. And we see that in September, you're taxed a bit. We need to gather the forces. We need to light the fire. We need to move forward. Even when we're a bit tired and worn out, we need to put in the extra energy and effort. And I do see that this reading for Scorpio is really about getting to the place where you've always wanted to go, your deeper desires, being able to take it to the next level, to have the faith and the resources to get yourself advanced further than you ever thought that you could go. And this is your highest calling. This is the year where you will find your way. And it will take a lot of energy and effort to do this. And you may feel worn out in September. And if you're going back to school, this would make a lot of sense. We're working through different situations here, Scorpio, and we're trying to make ourselves wake up in the morning and finish the tasks of the day and get to where we need to be, because you've got quite a lot of things going on all at the same time. And that's coming up next. We have the 10 of Rods. And so we are moving straight into October, which will even everything out. But again, the September time period, August, September, we're gathering together all of the tasks, all of the responsibilities, all of the assignments, all of the different tools that we need. We're taking all of that to market, basically, and that can mean we're taking tests, we're having boardroom meetings, we're reading all of the books that we need to read. We're taking it on, basically. And so you're taking it all on, you're making it happen. Yes, it's a lot of work, basically. You're head down, but you're able to handle it. And this means that even if you're feeling a little burnt out in August, and you're not sure that you're up to the task, Spirit's telling you you are up to the task and you're going to take it home. And that's fabulous, because we have the 4 coming up in October. Nice stability, nice security. You've taken this over the finish line, so to speak, whatever this may be. And again, I'm going to venture to say that this is a twosome task, because we've got the 2 of Cups coming up in November. And so again, I've been hearing them say this is really, a lot of this has to do with relationship, partnership, or your work environment, in that you've got to get these energies put onto the same page and have the belief that you can manifest your dreams as someone else is pushing forward with their own vision. And so a lot of this reading, I do believe, has to do with you, which is interesting, right in the center, gathering your forces to create what it is that you need to create. And then at that point, you are going to be able to get on the same page with the person who you are with, who you are planning with, who you're destined to perhaps either marry or create an organization with, or business dealings, or even for some of you, this can just mean mediation, where the two of you come to an agreement and you're both happy with the situation that you've created, because this is the opposite of that butterfly effect where you're worried that whatever they do, that they've done in the spring, is going to turn your life upside down and leave you out in the cold, sort of thing. You're going to find that actually you're able to hold your own, dig in, do the work that you need to do, and then the two of you meet on the same page. And so Spirit's saying, have faith, don't worry, all of this is going to work out. In November, it's a very happy month. It's a good month if you're looking to get married, if you're looking for a partner, if you want to make a business deal. November is definitely, of 2017, the month that crowns you. This is the month for true love. This is the month to renew vows, make vows, and be at peace with the person who you've been trying to perhaps either get on the same page with, or you've been trying to defend yourself from, I have to say a little bit, or keep yourself away from this Five of Pentacles, which feels chaotic and unstable. You find this stability at the end of the year. And then the last card, December, we've got another, in this reading, I do believe it's a good card. It is the Five of Swords, and so this is a card that really points to the fact that you're going to have the ability to move forward into 2018 and deal with issues, and not, although there still will be issues coming up, that it's a win-win mentality that the two of you have. You want to find a way that the two of you can both come out as victors. And so, and it's not an easy thing to do, and sometimes you lose and sometimes you win, but you keep coming back and you keep creating a situation that satisfies both parties. And so I do see a really beautiful year here for you. There's a lot of work that will happen, really, especially at the end of the summer and into the fall, and that's okay. And then again, there's faith that is required in order to settle this situation down. But you're going to have some big epiphanies. Your eyes are going to be wide open. You're going to know exactly what it is that you need to do, or the two of you as a couple need to do, or your organization or business needs to do in order to move forward. And it looks as if a lot of that has to do with taking on extra responsibility, extra tasks, creating a plan. So, and this is a quick plan. This is not a long-term plan. This is, let's get this done. Let's handle this. Let's make everyone feel good. Let's burn the candle on both ends, basically, to get this done. And you may want to make decisions impulsively just to get it done, but that in the end, really what I see is both of you, if it's the two of you, taking on tremendous responsibility. And this is no fly-by-night venture here. This is really hard effort that's put in, and that's going to be October. October is a pivotal month to take on whatever it is you need to take on to create this stability in October and November. We've got some nice cards here, and You know, everybody's making it happen together. It seems very nice. Now, if you are looking for a new home, I see that happening as well. Maybe taking on extra responsibilities in order to make that happen. If you are trying to incorporate two families, I see that happening very nicely as well. If you are trying to move through a new situation, which I do see with this Fool, there could be some chaos happening for you in the spring, early summer, but all of that is going to sort itself out in a beautiful way come June, July. And so have faith. That's what Spirit's saying. Have faith. You can take this journey. Step out. Do not be afraid. You've got the chutzpah. You've got the magic. You've got the ability to create a nice, stable foundation. But make sure you're doing what it is that you feel drawn and led to do. Do not give up your power. Do not give up your steam. Take care of yourself, Scorpio. And that's your reading for 2017. Thank you. And please, if you would like to learn how to read the tarot, go to the website. I will be holding hangouts, and you can see this is a pretty complicated reading, and you'll be learning all the suits, the 4 suits as well as major arcana, and how to read those cards side by side because they affect one another, and how to channel a reading and how to read on the fly, which is what I do. There's no editing going on here. And so this is something that is a wonderful, spectacular tool. All of us should be able to tap into Spirit and be able to create this story for ourselves, because we need to understand our higher selves, dig deep and get this messaging. And you can do it for yourself and you can do it for your loved ones. And so please take a look at that. Lots of love to you and have a wonderful 2017.